got J.J. Redick basically taking shots at his team for being a bunch of fat guys, when in reality what he's doing is he's saying it to one guy with a man
Yeah.
bod who everybody thought was going to walk into this team and that was going to instantly make them a champion. And you can say all you want about Luka. He's not a bad player. I mean, it's not like we're saying that this guy sucks, but he is simply not the type of player that can automatically take over a game and take over a team and will you to a championship, which comes up to my bit about LeBron James. Have we reached the stage where there's no doubting LeBron James as one of the greatest players of all time? Start there before you get the arrows out. But have we reached the point where LeBron James simply is not the guy anymore who can simply will a team to a championship, who simply doesn't have that edge that he had at one point? Has he lost the ability to do that? And maybe it's time for he and the Lakers to kind of move on from each other and the Lakers start to chart a new course.
So a couple of things here. If you look at LeBron's playoff history, or let's phrase this, his seasons in L.A., I think there's only two that he's made it past the first round. Or I know there's one conference finals the year Denver won. There's obviously the bubble championship. That's it.
Yes,
everything else has been I know. So in his eyes, he'll tell you that's a failure. That's where I respect him.
Yes.
I actually agree with you. And I think it came to fruition in this year's playoffs. He can't carry the load he used to. When he was in Cleveland before he went to L.A. and he's playing the Celtics, it scared this was Cleveland part 2, by the way. It scared the shit out of me knowing that in games 5, 6, and 7, LeBron's not coming off the floor. And you needed him to. Like, as a Celtic fan, you needed to find a 3-minute window to get him off the floor because he could control the game that way. He can't control the game that way anymore. And JJ, God, I don't know what he did what was it, game 4? Games 3 and 4, when he said, I'm not playing anyone off the bench. Game 4, I know he played no one off the bench in the second half. I mean, every single starter was playing 40 minutes, over 40 minutes. That's hard to do for LeBron these days.
Well, then you're bringing up a good point about between Redick and LeBron. Have we gotten to the point, well, when we say that LeBron can't will the team anymore, he's not that immediate force, put him on the floor, the team wins championships. Is it because LeBron James is getting older? Shocking. I mean, I know we all think that this guy's going to live forever, but it's just getting older. The skills start to fray just a little bit. Or is it a bigger part that the Lakers haven't given him the right pieces to do it with?
Both.
I'm a big guy that always believes that great players become great players because you put the right players around them, especially in the NBA, more than any other team, franchise, sport. Is it just possible that he's kind of losing some of the skills a little bit because of age? The Lakers aren't giving him the right players, or J.J. Redick simply is not the coach to take him to a championship level. Now, you got 3 pieces there.
I think JJ's the coach. I think, and you're walking into one of the preeminent franchises in sport in the Los Angeles Lakers. And you also have the expectations, the weight of the world. I don't know how much he was consulted on the trade, but your team gets blown up and try to revamp on the fly. Everyone immediately puts the pressure on you to win when you get Luka. I'm going to give JJ out of that. I think JJ's a very smart basketball mind. So he now needs the right pieces to fit.
Because he still was able to get the team and keep the team in a competitive level. It didn't completely fall apart when they blew up the team on him. So he took what he had and did the best he could with it. And I think the inclusion of Luka was all wrong. Worst thing you could have done. I think that destroyed the basic fabric of the team, changed it. And Luka, for all his marvelous skills that he has, again, he's Mr. Dad Bod, who really could be a much better player if he'd stay away from the buffet table.
2 things. Back to I put Harden and Westbrook as 2 players I never want to see win a championship. Luka is a player who never will win a championship in my mind. The dude can't play defense and gets exposed. unless he's on a team that's got a big four or like that team that's as deep as Boston, and you can hide him in the fourth quarter. By the way, hiding, I mean on the bench,
Right.
right? That's the only way Luka wins. I am not a Luka fan, and we fall in love with offense too much. Back to LeBron for a moment. We watched Tom Brady after the 2018 Super Bowl. They made the playoffs in 19, and then it's over. And Belichick, even at that time, wasn't giving Brady the tools. Remember? I mean, he still had,
there you go.
Right? He had Gronk and he had Edelman. And then you had a whole bunch of other little guys. And think about what Brady did in that final Super. That last Super Bowl was a snooze fest until one drive when the Patriots were able to put up that one drive, get the one touchdown, the only touchdown of the game, late in the game. That's where LeBron is right now. 10 years ago, Brady can make those guys better. Brady couldn't in 2019, the year they got knocked out of the playoffs, I think, by the Texans.
Well, right. What you're getting to, it's one of the most difficult things to do in sports when you have a star player or star players is to fill the roster with those role players, the B's and the C guys who can do it and get it done. Hockey has been able to do it. They did it around Ovechkin to basically make the Capitals as good as they are. Other teams have done it around great stars. We get back to the Bruins. They had a couple of great stars. They added terrible players. I mean, instead of getting B's and C's, they put C's, D's, and F's in there. So if you bring this around to the NBA or any other franchise, football, I don't care what sport you're in, you have to put the role players around them properly. That is the toughest thing. Going to a draft, getting a free agent signing, getting the big name player, easy. Simplest thing in the world to do. If you screw that up, then that's where you start screwing up the franchise. But if you can't put the right role players there, it hurts the team. That's what they did with Luka. They went with all the, hey, we got Luka Doncic here. We're going to be great. We're going to win the championship. There's more to it than that, and that's where the front office screwed up.
Agree. And so what they did was they won February. Congratulations. You won the month of February because you got the deal done.
Who cares?
And because you made this. Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But people fall in love. I can't tell you, and I know there are times I go to the gambling aspect here. I can't tell you how many people. I know how many people right away immediately went, the Lakers are going to the NBA Finals. How? Why? I was saying it since then. I was saying it back then, and all everyone says is they have the two most dominant players on the court. Well, no, because LeBron's not as dominant anymore, as we just mentioned. He's still exceptionally good, and Luka's a ball hog. Now, during the regular season, I actually was impressed with how it was working with Luka and LeBron, and they actually were playing some defense. They just ran. This also shows you the Western Conference is exceptionally deep because the 3 seed just got knocked out by the 6 seed, and they got knocked out in 5. And they got worked. They got worked by the 6 seed because the 6 seed has got a younger player in Anthony Edwards who is hungry. I don't know if I've ever seen Luka hungry.
Well, there's always a case to be made that Luka was shielded in Dallas. He became a very good player. Look, again, we don't want to sit here and have somebody say, oh, Luka's a lot more talented than you guys think. You're not giving him the credit. He is a talented basketball player, without a doubt. But was he made better by the people around him in Dallas? Was he given this reputation? Was he handed it? Did he earn it because he had the right people to help make him better? Absolutely. Again, you're putting him in with a player. So you've got LeBron and Luka. What else you got in order to make that run? You've got to have more than just 1 or 2 players. You got to have the role players. And
I agree
that's
100%.
where they fell. So that's why I'll go with you on that. That it's not JJ Redick's fault.
Okay.